What's up, Army? I'm back. And so are you. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for choosing to share this space with me. I hope you're doing well. It feels really good to be back. It really does. I thought maybe I'd feel uncomfortable, but I don't. And I have some channeled messages for you. Sorry I was gone for so long. It was very much needed. I was feeling like I had all kinds of energy coming at me from all different angles. And not that I need to explain myself, but I needed to take a step back so I can sort things out, figure out what's mine, what isn't mine, what I need to pay attention to, and what I don't need to pay attention to. I've been working with my beautiful spiritual counselor. You might have heard me refer to her as my personal Yoda. I've been training with her, so to speak, and learning how to use the Force to heal my trauma. And it has been eye-opening and painful as fuck and devastating, but necessary, so that I can be not only a better person for you, my family, the world, but most importantly, to myself, because I learned that the one person abusing and terrorizing me the most was me. So yeah, I'm back. And I have some messages for you. First, I'm going to get into the messages of, what I learned through my experience, what I feel like I need to share with you. And this stuff is like, what's crazy is that there's things that I've been saying for years, things that I thought I had a firm grasp on. But I've gotten a fresh perspective of how do I explain it? A fresh perspective of how to really apply these things in my life, and how I was missing the point, I guess, or missing it. Let me put it to you this way. Most of us are on a healing journey. Most of us choose self-awareness, to learn about ourselves, to learn about our shadows, so that we can know better and do better, right? And I've been going along doing the best that I could. But I got to tell you, never underestimate or undervalue the importance or the usefulness of bringing in a professional, or even an outside perspective every once in a while. Somebody who is not going to bullshit you. Somebody who's going to tell you exactly what they see, because it's so much easier to see things from the outside looking in. And everything that I was feeling and everything that I was experiencing was so in my face that I couldn't make sense of it from that higher perspective. I couldn't make sense of things because I was so emotionally charged and invested and triggered. Like I said, it was all right here. And sometimes we really need to ask someone else that can help us take that step back and help give us that outside perspective. And it's really worth its weight in gold, 100%. And that's what I've been doing. And I feel better than ever. And I can genuinely say that from a calm and peaceful place, not from a place where I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. And then, I shut off the camera and my mind is going 1,000 miles a minute. And when it comes to my own personal life, it's not even my life. My life is not in chaos. It was me. It was me. It was my mind. It was my obsession with trying to figure everything out. And just, I'm just happy to be back. So yeah, I'm going to go through some of these things that I wrote down. I actually wrote this stuff down on March 3rd. Take it or leave it. But these are the messages that I was able to channel through my experience. I can't believe I've been talking for 7 minutes. Okay. All right. So the first thing is, if you've been in the spiritual community, you've heard this before, but I need you to really hear it. Take it. And some people might not be able to hear it or take it for what it's worth. And it might sound superficial, but it's truth. Okay? Any energy that exists outside of you first exists within you. They can't trigger you if it doesn't exist within you. Understand that. A person can't trigger you with a fear if that fear does not exist within you. Okay? Any hateful, sabotaging energy outside of you exists because there is a part of you that is self-sabotaging and self-hating. And the universe is using those around you to show you what needs to be healed within you. 8:08 on the clock. Understand that. And I'm saying this because I witnessed it within myself. I had somebody else say, where are you feeling that way about yourself? I did, I love myself. What are you talking about? I love myself. And there were these things that were so deep rooted within me from my childhood, from my past experiences, from my whole life. That I didn't realize that I had buried and was projecting. So again, I'm gonna say that again, okay? Any hateful, sabotaging energy outside of you exists because some part of you is self-sabotaging and self-hating. And the universe is using those around you to show you what needs to be healed within you. Are you listening? And then I saw that card that I have in my deck. If something triggers you, it's meant to. If you want growth, do the opposite of what you normally do. Something triggers you, instead of jumping into that knee-jerk reaction of doing what you take a step back and really, why is this triggering me? What feeling in me is this? Why do I feel this way? Why does that bother me? and really look at it. It's genuinely not about anybody else. It's all about you. And there's all kinds of sirens going on outside. My neighbor just pulled out their dirt bike. Like, I don't know what's happening. All right, I'm going to move on to the next point, okay? If you've gained wisdom, knowledge, and growth, if you gained wisdom, knowledge, and growth from a situation, then anything you lost was not a loss. If you gained wisdom, knowledge, and growth from a situation, then anything you think you lost was not a loss. It was all for your gain. What's that saying? It wasn't happening to you, it was happening for you. This is something that really needs to be internalized. Really look at it, 1101. Flip the situation and see what you gained, what you learned, and how much of a better person you are. And if you're not a better person because of something that happened to you, ask yourself again, what is this showing me? What is this trying to teach me? Are you staying lost in the hurt? Are you staying caught in a cycle? Be honest with yourself. If you find yourself beating yourself up over the past, remember this. You did the best you could with the information you had at the time. That's something that I got to keep telling myself. If I ever feel like I lost out on something or missed out on an opportunity, or my mind, my trauma mind wants to take me down a pathway just to abuse me because that's what I'm used to, I got to tell myself, not feed that train, because that train is not empowering. That train is not helping me. That train is keeping me stuck in the past. And just say, I will not shame myself for my past because I did the best I could with the information I had at the time, period, and leave it alone. Drop it like it's hot. You may have heard this saying, people meet you as far as they have met themselves. But it's also true that you can only meet people as far as you have met yourself. If you're only willing to go this deep, then you can only meet people that are only willing to go this deep. We cannot force another's soul's growth any more than we can force our own. Can't force our growth. We can't force to be over something. We can't force ourselves to forget about something. It just doesn't work that way. Things need to heal on their own. Grief needs to happen in its own process, in its own time. Exercise patience with yourself and allow things to unfold naturally. Next point. It's not your job to figure anyone else out. Most people don't even know themselves. Could sit here and analyze and psychoanalyze and dissect somebody else all you want and think that you got it figured out. You can't figure anyone else out. The only person you're responsible for is yourself. How are you supposed to figure somebody else out when most people don't even know themselves? Isn't it hard enough trying to figure out your own shit? Trying to put the pieces of another person together is a waste of energy down a dead-end street. Allow others to be who they need to be and only focus on your side of the street. This was huge for me. Maybe it's a control thing. It's probably a control thing. Allow others to be who they need to be. Everybody is in their own place, on their own journey, in their own time, learning their own lessons. Don't take it personally. Worry about what you're doing, your own karma, and the universe will handle everybody else. The most powerful, sinister, and covert addiction is fear. The most powerful, sinister, and covert addiction is fear. It wears many masks and comes for us through the shattered glass of our unhealed perception. It's amazing how many different ways fear and shame can disguise themselves. If it's not empowering you, it's not for you. Person, place, thing, or thought. And my last point, the present moment is your most valuable asset. Do everything you can to stay there. Your life and the quality of your life depends on it. Future tripping, being afraid of what's coming, being afraid of what's not coming, saying it's not here yet, it's never going to get here, I'm never going to get there, or being stuck in the past of I shouldn't have done that, and maybe I should have done this, or everything is useless. The only change that you can make, and I know we've talked about this before, but the only changes that can be done are in the here and now and in this present moment. Take these things to heart and really apply them in your life, because they will make a difference, but it requires honesty. And if you're feeling like I was feeling, like everything is just in your face, like your thoughts and your emotions are just a fucking wad of spaghetti in your brain, don't be afraid to ask for help. I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to take today's message. Today's message is, it's kind of a long one, so I don't know that I'm going to do a reading. I think I'm just going to read through this channeled energy, cut it, and come back and do something different, because I know that once I read this, if I try pulling cards or anything like that, it'll just continue. And I think this message is, it's pretty complete in itself. Okay, so I asked Spirit with the channeled message for the collective was what they wanted me to give to the collective today. And I started seeing these little pieces, like little chunks of purple, okay, almost like this, almost like amethyst, but it wasn't on a stone. It was just like almost like rock candy, but like in pieces. I don't know how that's relevant. It looked like amethyst. And then I saw a crown. And then I've been getting this reference, this Wreck-It Ralph reference. I don't know if you've seen the movie. But like the battle between Vanellope, what's her name? Vanellope von Sweets, right? And the Candy King, and how it turns out that the Candy King wasn't really the king at all. And, you know, he convinced Vanellope that she was just a glitch and told everyone in the game not to let her pass the finish line, because if she passes the finish line, then it's going to ruin the game. It's going to break the game will be over, and they'll all be out of business. And it was actually the complete opposite. Vanellope was actually like the queen of the game. She was actually like, the game was fucking named after her, and the Candy King was just a fraud pretending to be the king, wasn't really a king, and he was like stealing her throne, stealing her thunder, stealing from her. I got that reference, okay? And then I started seeing things like literal things just flying around in the air, like and I saw Mickey Mouse in the cartoon Fantasia, when everything's just kind of like floating around. I was seeing almost like a swirl, like this magician kind of energy where things are just like swirling around, rearranging. I heard new timelines are being activated. I heard French history. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Maybe you're from France. I don't know. And then I heard a false identity on Tinder, fake profiles. Somebody's using fake profiles. But that goes into the rest of the message. I didn't understand it when I first wrote it down, but as the message goes on, it makes more sense. Then I heard timber. Timber! The trees. Yeah. It all falls down, and then I heard it's not a threat, it's a promise. And then I was brought back to this morning. I had pulled some cards, and I got two energies: the King of Swords, I think it was the King of Swords, the King of Swords, and the King of Wands. And when I was pulling cards this morning, the King of Swords and the King of Wands, I was pulling this energy of these two, like competing for the attention of another energy, a feminine energy. I was brought back to that. So I wrote it down and I went into it a little more. So these two energies are like competing with each other for the attention of this feminine energy. I heard, I bet I can get her to look over here. It's like they're playing this game of who can get her to look at them. I saw the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands. I heard cockfight. They lost sight of the prize they were competing for in the first place and failed to notice the feminine energy walking away from both of them. So these two are fighting with each other, and she just walks away. They both lose. All that energy wasted, and now all they have is each other and the empty, childish hands they played. Feminine wins. Feminine wins her freedom from boys, is what I heard. And then I heard Eric Garner, I can't breathe. And I started feeling that. I can't breathe. Somebody is like, somebody's having anxiety over this loss. It's a big loss. It's we'll get into that. They're like gambling or betting that she chooses them in whatever weird way. They're betting money, but the money is now hers. It's a lot of money. They're playing this game and she doesn't know, and they think that because she doesn't know, they don't need to pay her, or they refuse to stop playing the game and admit defeat. They don't want to stop playing the game. It's like the stakes are so high. They keep coming up with reasons to keep playing, even though like she won, like she walked away from everybody and actually won, but they're still like trying to keep it going. 22-20. No, it wasn't 20. I saw 22-22, but it wasn't 22-22. That's weird. Okay, so then I heard double or nothing. They played her for a fool, but the only ones looking foolish is them. They lost her and the money. And then I heard pay her, like pay her. That's what I heard. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, I heard. Preying on her weaknesses only made her stronger. That's what you get for judging a book and for being an egomaniac. And then I heard pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants on the ground. Somebody looks like a fool, or somebody got caught with their pants down. And then I heard, you know what you did. And then the fake accounts came back. Fake accounts, trolling, turning everything into a competition. So it's like they just keep finding things to say, oh, well, I bet this. And oh, no, I bet this. And I bet that. And I bet this. And I bet that. And they're so caught up in, it's like they're not even looking at her as a person anymore. It's just this perpetual game, and the stakes keep getting higher and higher and higher, and they just keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it's like, it's over. The rule is that they can't reveal their true identity, or they can't tell her about the game. Like you can't, I kept hearing you can't cheat and tell her. Like they made this rule so that somebody doesn't like cheat and tell her, so that she like plays along with them and then they both win. Like they made it so that like I just kept getting the example of like you can't, like if you tell her, like it's like telling somebody, like letting somebody in on like a prank or a joke. And it's like, listen, if we win, I'll split the money with you. Like that was the rule. Like you can't tell her that it's happening. They've been playing mind games. Any reaction counts. So it's like they're just like prodding at they're just like prodding at her to get a reaction. I saw the 5 of Wands again, so it could be like it could be 5 men or more doing this, like playing this game. I heard playing this game for years. Someone was sure they'd win, but they're all out. They all lost. They're all out. They all lost, but they're so addicted to playing this game that they don't want to admit that they lost. They don't want to admit that it's over. They don't want to admit that she won. And then I heard she's gone, pay her. She wins. You lose for being fools. All is fair in love and war. You declared war and were defeated by the one you least expected. Then I saw dice. I saw 2. What is it? Die is plural. Dice. I don't think it matters. Anyway, I saw double sixes. Double sixes. So number 66 or just double sixes is significant. Personally, I've been seeing 66 everywhere. Like everywhere. Like there's this bus that passes me all the time. I used to see it every once in a while, but now I've been seeing it like every day. It's a Route 66. I've been seeing it every day. I see house numbers, number 66. Double sixes have been haunting me for weeks now. Okay. When I finished channeling this message, I actually looked it up. Like, what is double six in like when you roll a double six? Cause I don't know what that is. And I found the double six in craps is a win. Like when you roll double six in craps, I've never played craps in my life, but apparently when you roll double six in craps, you win and the payout is 30-1. So that's what they owe her. Whoever this feminine energy is. 30-1. Anyway, I heard again, she wins the game. She didn't even know she was playing because she chose peace over your insanity. Pay her. I just kept hearing pay her. Pay her. Figure it out. You know what you did. Foolish clowns rolled the dice, bet against the house, and lost not only your money, but your star player that you were too blind to see because of your tomfoolery. It's not a word I use, but that's what I heard. Tomfoolery. You turned her into a joke, but who's laughing now? Clowns. Bored clowns Bored clowns brave enough to bet on someone's life. Betting you can make someone end their own life, betting on someone's misery, betting on someone's downfall, failure. Children with too much ego and too much time on their hands. You'll be lucky if paying her is the only consequence of your actions. These people have literally bet on everything. They've literally bet on this person being destroyed, being miserable, being depressed, giving up. And it hasn't happened, and it won't. So many secrets, so little time. And then I started to feel nauseous. Someone is sick over how far they let it go, looking back at the whole can of worms. Too late to put a lid on it. The can no longer contain the mess you made, I heard. So many people involved, you'll never tie all your loose ends. It's bigger than you. Pay her. The amount of times I heard pay her is unbelievable. You stacked the odds against her, made it almost impossible for her to win, and she won anyway. Like the wicked stepmother and the sisters in Cinderella destroying her dress. Like the Candy King in Wreck-It Ralph convincing Vanellope she wasn't anything more than a glitch. Cinderella still gets the prince, and Vanellope still won the game and regained her rightful place as royalty. I heard again, all is fair in love and war. The fun and games are over. Pick your jaws up off the floor. So that's the message. And I'm going to leave it at that. Take what resonates. I don't know if this is figurative or literal, but that's what I got. It was very strong. I even tried to like distract from it. Like I got to a certain point and I was like, I don't even want to, like, I don't want to read this energy. And I made myself something to eat. I went about my business. I did not want to read this energy, but then it's just, I distracted myself and it just, the message just kept coming through. So, again, take it as it resonates. And I'm going to leave this right here. And I'm going to take a little break, clear the energy out, change out my water, and I'll be back. Maybe we'll get into some charms. I bought myself this little, I don't know. I've been drawn to like a little Zen garden. That thing I got that from Five Below. It was like $5, but it's, I don't know. Maybe we'll play with that. I don't know. I just want to close this energy out. This is a message the Spirit wanted me to put out. I asked specifically what message am I supposed to put out. This is what they wanted me to put out. So I'm going to leave it there. And if you're still with me, you already fucking know you're a real one. Thank you so much. Thank you for still supporting me. Thank you for everything that you do and have done and continue to do. Keep this channel alive. I appreciate your continued love and support, your likes, your shares, your subscriptions. And I will catch you on the next one. You're beautiful. I love you.